Welcome back to Jersey Matters. America is getting older and we are living longer, and because of that, you should know about something called elder law. And lucky for you, we have two people that can explain that. Yale and Laurie Hauptman are partners of Hauptman and Hauptman Law. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yale, I'll start with you. What is elder law?
So when people ask me that question, I start by contrasting elder law versus estate planning. So if you think about estate planning, which most people have done, it's you prepare your will, you have an attorney prepare your will, powers of attorney, healthcare directive, and that answers the question, what happens if I die? How do I leave my assets to my loved one, make sure that they have enough to support themselves, and I don't want to pay a whole lot in taxes. But increasingly, as we're all living longer, the assumption with estate planning and with a will is that I have a certain nest egg and I'm going to have that much or hopefully more when I pass away. But we can't say that any longer. As we're living longer, we are also needing extensive long-term care, and a lot of that, on average, 24/7 care costs in our area $150,000 or more. So, as I jokingly say, that can solve your estate tax problem, although the laws have significantly changed there and taxes are not even an issue for most middle America. But the bigger question is, what happens if I get sick first and then I have this long-term care expense and then I pass away? How do I protect those assets, making sure that I have enough care to meet my needs, and if I'm married, my spouse's needs, and perhaps children that are dependent upon me, and then be able to pass on those assets to my loved ones.
And Laurie, it's got to be more than that, though, too. I mean, I understand how important that is. I get how important that is. But there are specific legal problems that happen with the elderly, and you used the word a couple of times, and it seems like the law is there, in this case, more for protection than anything else of the elderly.
Well, there's lots of protections that we worry about, people that get scammed, people that are taken advantage of. We really focus in our...
and a protection of assets, as he
protection of assets. And we really do is that I analogize us to a general contractor. We work with people's accountants, financial advisors, and what we do is we put into place a plan in order to protect assets. And we do that by utilizing tools such as a trust. We focus on that. And by putting assets into a trust, and we have to use a specific kind of trust. There's lots of different trusts that everybody knows about. We're able to allow people to utilize the money and tap into it when they need it, but if they eventually want to qualify for government needs-based benefits, such as Medicaid, they can by still having a pot of money as a resource, but they can still qualify for needs-based benefits. And that's the planning that we're talking about.
Yeah, well, it seems it's all financial?
A large part of it is financial, but there's a legal component to it as well, because we need to, as we all get older, as my folks age, they're going to rely on me more and more to assist them. And we need the legal tools to be able to allow the children or loved ones to be able to assist, because as Laurie said, there's a lot of scam and fraud out there, and you have to have the right documentation in place. And
Let me just pick up on that for 1 second,
Sure,
what you just said,
sure.
because I think it's an important point. We just did an interview recently where we were talking about elderly scam, and you were saying that you had people around people to protect their assets along with you. They said 90% of elderly scam is done by someone who knows the person, a friend and or a relative. How do you protect from that?
Making good choices about the people that you appoint in the specific roles that documents, for example. So if you have a financial power of attorney, which is the document by which you are appointing someone to be able to handle your finances, we have candid discussions with our clients about who that person should be. We actually ask clients, do your children have gambling issues? Do they have bankruptcy issues? Have they been in trouble with the law? Because if you're going to select a person, they have to be the right person for the role. We're not looking for trouble. So I'm not surprised that it's often family members, because they're the ones that are often appointed. They're the ones that are named as the agent under the financial power of attorney. They're the trustee. But what we do tell our clients is we need to select the person based upon their skill set and the protections that we know that they will have for you.
And that's so important. And do you help them navigate through some of the government regulations and government funds?
Yes, and so what Laurie mentioned before about establishing trust and such, our overriding goal is we don't have a crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball to know how long somebody is going to live. And the overriding objective is that we want to make sure the best we can make sure that people don't run out of money, because we don't know where the finish line, so to speak, is. And so the government wants you to spend all your money first, and then they have benefits that will cover your care. But when you start to understand that that system of benefits is really a patchwork, depending on where you want that care, there may not be a government program that will cover your care. You may not be eligible for it, or it may only pay for a part of your care, even though the government says you have to spend essentially all your money before we're going to provide the benefits that we'll agree to provide. And so our philosophy is, let's figure out how we can tap into the different sources and long-term care insurance to the extent clients have it. That's a piece as well. And in some cases, if clients are young enough and healthy enough, we recommend long-term care insurance to plug in a gap where one exists.
Puzzle.
It seems like there's so much to talk about, and we're unfortunately out of time. How do people get a hold of you if they want to find out more?
They can go to our website, www.hauptmanlaw.com, or they can call our office at 973-994-2287. We don't charge for a consultation, so we welcome anyone to call and see if we can provide guidance.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you both coming in.
Thanks
It's
for
an
having
important
us.
topic.
Thank you.
Yale and Laurie Hauptman, partners of Hauptman and Hauptman Law. Jersey Matters continues right after this. Still to come on Jersey Matters, millennials are leaving the state in record numbers. It's a big concern to colleges. We'll tell you what they're planning to do about it when we come right back.
New message.
Department of the Social Security Administration. The reason of this call is to inform you that your Social Security number has been suspended for suspicion of illegal activity. If you do not contact us immediately, your account will be deactivated. For more information about this case file, press 1 or call immediately our department number, 326.
This is a scam. Thieves are misusing the Social Security Administration's authority and phone schemes to trick you into giving them money or personal information. They state there is a problem with your Social Security number or account. They claim there's been suspicious or fraudulent activity, and you could be arrested or face other legal action. They even spoof SSA's main customer service telephone number on caller ID. Don't believe them. Don't provide any information. SSA employees will never threaten you for information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent. Just hang up. If you suspect you've been contacted by an SSA scammer, call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.